I'm Esmeralda Aharon, co-founder of Latinas Rising, along with my friend Gabriela Ramirez Arellano. Latinas Rising is a small business created to empower women through authorship, mentorship, consultation services, and creating a sisterhood where we are building a comunidad. We created Latinas Rising to give a voice to women, specifically Latinas. Initially, it was focused solely on Latinas, but then we had women from all walks of life who came up to us and said, "Can I become part of your community? How can I join your familia?" So now Latinas Rising has been opened to women of all diverse backgrounds, and we welcome everybody. Sharing our stories is so powerful. The first time that I sat down to write my own, I was crying, I was typing and shedding a bunch of tears, but in the process, I realized that I was healing too. So this opportunity of women telling their stories and how their lives have been changed for the better is a great opportunity for other women to see, oh my gosh, if she was able to do that and still walk even now, I can do it too. So we have two clear examples of women sharing their stories. I'll begin with Debi. Debi heard about Calladitas Rising and she wanted to support that wonderful anthology. So she was one of our sponsors. And then later she joined Amigas Rising, lifting others as we climb. And then we have Jaclyn, who is Latina, who did share her story in Calladitas Rising, and then came back and also joined Amigas Rising. Let's hear from them.
Candidly, it all started with Gabriela reaching out to me with Calladitas Rising. She said, "Hey, I have an opportunity. Would you be open to being an author?" And my first reaction was, "Me? Like, you want me?" I'm like, "I don't really have a story to tell." And she was like, "Oh, but you do." Once I started telling my story, I didn't want to stop. So when the Amigas Rising came in terms of another opportunity to share, it was a no-brainer for me.
I said to them immediately, I go, "You can look at me and I'm not Hispanic." You know, I didn't know if they were going to accept authors that weren't Hispanic. And they're like, no, you know, we want you to contribute. And so I thought one of the best ways I could contribute was being really honest about how hard it was to start a business and the mistakes I made along the way and the lessons that I learned before I became successful. Because I think enough women weren't sharing them. We're still talking about some of the same barriers we were talking about in the 80s. That tells you how young I am, you all. And we've got to stop those barriers.
The biggest benefit of it has really been in terms of my confidence in owning my story. And the biggest challenge has been the owning my story, because it is very humbling to put a little bit of yourself out there for everyone, not knowing how they may or may not react. But it's been empowering and wonderful altogether.
Once a day, I would read one chapter, and then I would soak in what that author had shared and how did that relate to my life and what could I do with that story that would help empower me for the day. And I've got to tell you, I had over a month of just wonderful stories to read that women had shared, and just got really personal and lifted the curtain and said, we're not perfect, but we're here and we're going to keep rising and lifting other people up.
Latinas Rising is a movement. It's a community. It's a tribe. I think women, we tend to think that we need to do everything on our own. You are not alone.
It takes a community, and once you accept the community and you look around to others and ask for help, you rise faster. Don't try to do it on your own. We're all here to help.
And finally, we're so excited to share that our third book is in the works. Mujeres Rising, Leading with Heart and Courage, will be published in September of 2026. So if you are wanting to share your voice, wanting to share your story, this is your opportunity. Join us. Reach out to holaLatinasRising@gmail.com and tell us that you want to be part of the next book. We are looking forward to hearing from you.